guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making a game. Now, what do I mean by a game? I mean a game. Really fast, I'm just going to import a sprite. You might ask me, did I make any of the art for the sprite? Yep, I actually made this sprite myself. We can play in -90. For it to point in that direction because it is completely symmetrical. You guys might recognize this sprite I have created. If you haven't, it's fine. I'm just gonna make it its maximum size. 1000. Okay, let's go with 1688 is its maximum size. But that's a little big. Yep, let's make it 750. I think, yep, it's a nice size. I feel like 500 might be nicer for our cat size. Yeah, I can imagine that shooting out of our cat. Okay, so how are we gonna get started coding this? Well, if I say move 10 steps, it just moves left. That's not a very good start. So moving right happens when it's pointing left. So if I were to point in direction 90, it would be that, and it would still move that way. So we're going to need a -10 steps. And actually, this could be our player. So rotation style all around. Yeah. 1 minute. I'm going to go and change this. Our Piscal. Export, download. And then I'm going to re-import it. Paint. Upload sprite. It just works if you do that. Paint first. Okay, whoa, no, I didn't want to do that. No, back. You can be size 100. I'm gonna re-import it. Sorry. 500. Yeah, this could be a nice player where we're just flying around trying to guard the cat. So let's call this game Guard the Cat. And making a guard the cat game, I have approached before. It's not a very easy task, but I'm pretty sure I can make it simpler, depending on you guys' skill levels. I'll say this is more of an intermediate tutorial. I'm not going to be explaining much of it as I go, so I'd expect you to have a basic understanding. Pretty much just watched all of my videos and stuff. But this is a new kind of movement. He's gonna be pretty fast. Are you at the center? Convert to vector. I feel like our cat should be bitmap if we're gonna have it be like that. Also, please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. This content, it does take me more work to make. I'm trying to make a consistent upload schedule, but it's gonna be difficult for me with my busy, tight schedule, but I'll probably be able to work it in, and hopefully I can. It just really depends. Please just subscribe though. Like, subscribing would if you subscribe to me, then you will have good luck on Scratch for the next week. This only happens once, and it only happens if you subscribe while the video is still playing, so do it fast. Now, in the next part of this tutorial, I'm going to be adding in the enemies. as well as smoothing out our thing's movement and adding little upgrades like a shield for our player or what we're supposed to be guarding, so that if we miss one, then he's going to have a different thing. Something's gonna happen. So then it's just gonna block it, and then it's gonna like explode. We can actually smooth out the movement in this video, and then maybe add the basic enemy movement. Okay. I want to delete that block because I want to delete that variable. I'll call this turnval, and then momentum, because there's a momentum variable we can use to literally do all of this. So we can take out all of these. We're going to set momentum to this, set momentum to this, and set momentum to this. Grab all three of those, duplicate them, set that to turnval, and then grab that. Oh, I forgot we're only using two variables because it will work better. So we are going to grab this. This will never make us turn anything. We want it to turn clockwise. So why do we need the left arrow? Well, because we're going to be changing it by -1. Change, and then duplicate that, change, and we are going to turn that to there, duplicate this, and then we're going to say times, multiply by, I'm like that 0.9, and then I'm going to drag two of those down, momentum, and we're going to put that in the momentum, and then that into the turnval, and then we're just going to put that there, that there, and that there, and then we're going to have our smoothed out movement. So turning is really easy. How are we gonna fix that? And our momentum is changing. So yeah, how do we fix that? Well, we're only setting the momentum to that. So now we have our smoothed out movement, and it is very nice and very smooth, and now it feels more like we are in space or wherever we are, and that is it for our player. Currently, that's it for our player. We are going to choose a sprite for our enemies. Actually, we can pretty much duplicate this, call it enemy, and then we can make it like a local multiplayer game, but I'm not going to do that. Costumes, I'm going to change our color effect by 25, 25, 25, 25. I want it to be a red color, so set that to 0. Yeah, red. Dang it, I need to change it by -10 now. And that's a nice red for our enemies. And I'll set that back to its default. I'm just going to really quick draw out our enemies, and yep, it hopefully will work. Alright, now if we add in a white eye, as you can see, it stays white because it doesn't have any difference in the color. It can't have any difference in the color. And if I were to make a black outline, that wouldn't have any difference either. And I'm going to make our eye a little smaller. So for our enemies, I'm going to go with a nicer look, pointed. Now drag that in. I need to make this pointed. Now I need to go into that mode, make it go up a little bit, and then draw lines going out. And I need to have them going on that exact angle for the sake of the looks. And I'll just copy that, paste it, flip it horizontally, and now we should have the exact angle that we need for our perfect enemy sprite. I'm going to grab that, make it a little smaller, grab that, make it a little smaller, and this looks like a nice enemy sprite, but as you can see, all eyes must have that little black dot, and these guys are all just going to have their eye on the player, and they're all just going to be coming in like that, like that, like that, like that. They're not going to have any like special movement. Now let's draw an eye for our player. I feel like our player is going to have a nicer looking eye than the enemy, like a more sweet looking eye, because, well, he's a good guy in the story, right? So he's got to be like nice. He does have a feisty side, that's for sure. If I make that pointed, and I make that pointed, and I make that pointed, that's a nice eye, isn't it? Yeah, everyone likes an eye that goes like to the edge of the screen. Yes, look at that slice, a clean slice of the eye. Yeah, I feel like we can just delete that completely. And then draw a new one, make it that pointed, and then move it to like an exact position. But our player's not going to have those as much of an outline to the eyes as the enemies. He's always going to be looking forward as well, but I'm sort of going for around the same look as our players to our enemies. Like, the enemies are the corrupt versions, and our player is like the last one left, and the cat's the only one who can change them. So there's going to be more and more levels, and you're going to get stronger and stronger with each level passed, and then you're going to have more and more lives. Like, if your player dies because of a larger enemy or something, if I ever add that, then yes, you will have more lives. The larger monster will die as well as your player with each level, but the first level is going to be easy, no large ones, and you're only going to have one life. Okay, so when clicked, we want to set our color effect to 50, right? Because that's red. Or maybe we want to set it to 50, then change it by 10. Let's see how that looks. So 80. And then we have our enemy, and we have our player. Enemy's art is done. We are now going to add in the effect. So we're just going to hide it for, well, no, repeat until. We're not going to have a condition. This is just going to be an infinite level. And then we're going to add in an if statement. We're going to add in a when I start as clone. And then we're just going to say repeat until, and then make it an or. Now, we're also going to add in another or and another ore based on all the upgrades. But for right now, the only two things we're going to have are touching our player, then it will immediately die, or touching our cat, and then our cat will take damage. We're just going to move 10 steps. Let's make him a lot slower, so like move 2.5 steps, and then we're just going to say point towards our cat, and it runs that code out as fast as possible. I'll just go to random position or something, but repeat until blank. Right now we're just going to originally go to exact position X 240 and Y 180, and then we're going to create clone of myself. We are going to show the clones as well. Yeah, look, it's just a huge mass of clones. And then the game slows down, because there's maximum clones, and then after this repeat until, we're just going to say, delete this clone. So it's going to be a massive amount of clones heading straight for our cat, and then they're just going to delete themselves. So it's nothing but that. That is the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys liked it, and I think just one more thing, make that 5 seconds. So it's slower in the enemy's income, and that's all for this tutorial. Goodbye, and I'll see you later.